describe what's happening here today?
We've put together a comprehensive testing protocol to look at previous exposure to heavy metals to establish a baseline, as well as to look at the incident that has recently happened here in this community so we can establish whether the folks are being affected by the release.
How many people from the community have you seen here today?
Currently we've seen about 15, and we are scheduled to see about 26 today. And we'll be back on Tuesday to do the same.
And in terms of results, how long will it take you guys until you can definitively say it's either in the atmosphere and getting to people or not?
We'll get the results back within a 14 to 21 day window. There's a lot of discernment that has to be made with regard to the data, and I'm going to get some assistance on that. However, some of these tests that we're doing today are within a 27-day, very important window in order to establish a baseline. The real issue is an ongoing toxic exposure. These folks are breathing the fly ash into their systems, inhalation exposure, potential drinking water exposure, just tracking the fly ash into their homes and living in the environment. So we're going to be able to look 90 to 120 days down the road here and look at whether they're being affected.
What are some of the other environmental tragedies that you guys have been involved in that maybe our viewers would know?
Autism.
Okay.
It's an environmental tragedy of our society. It's the train wreck of our society, in my opinion. But I spent 7 years as a hazardous materials specialist from 90 to 97 up in Ohio, so I have a very strong background in heavy metal toxicology.
What haven't I asked you that's important for me to know?
I think it's very important for people to know that they do need to get tested within this 27-day window. We're at 17 days right now. We're going to be back here on Tuesday. The more data this community has collectively, the stronger their collective efforts are. And your body will begin to excrete toxins within that period. The other thing is heavy metals are very toxic, and I think that the awareness level is going to go up significantly here in this community and hopefully nationally. And we can look at these exposures and look at generational risk. It's very important to look at what's gone on here and discern later down the road if it's affecting not only just our wildlife and animal population, but human life environment and human populations as well.
Have you guys heard, last question, have you guys heard from TVA? Does TVA, I guess, know you're doing this testing? Are they interested in what your results are? Do you have any sort of relationship with TVA, or is it just too early?
I think it's too early. I think that's the answer. I think that they are aware that we are doing this. I've not had any personal contact. Again, I was simply asked to evaluate last Saturday what the community's needs might be. And after those meetings, I gave and said that we could help if we got into this community and did the testing within this window. Outside of the window, some efforts would be futile.
Okay. Thank you.